Alright, we proceed. Try your hands on these ones, and you can confirm your answers using the same steps we introduced. Let's go to the next thing. In this video, we look at how to obtain sum of roots and products of roots when a quadratic equation is given. Without obtaining the roots, one can get the sum of the roots and product of the roots. You don't need to know the roots, but you can know the sum and product of the roots when a quadratic equation is given. That is the next thing. We proceed. Obtaining sum and products of quadratic equations. Obtaining sum and products of quadratic equations. Sum and products of the roots. Sum and products of roots of quadratic equations. That would handle it of quadratic equations. Alright, we take the first question. Number 1, find the sum and products of the roots of the equation x squared plus 7x plus 10 equal to 0. This is what we have. I'll be using this equation to introduce other ones. When you are given an equation like this, it's quadratic, x squared plus 7x plus 10, and the question is, what is the sum of the roots? What is the product of the roots? One would simply solve the equation. Some of us will just say, let's solve the equation. And when you solve this equation, we'll get the roots. When I have the roots, I will find the sum and I will find the product, which is correct. And I will do that with you before I introduce question number 2. First, one would want to solve this equation to obtain the roots. Solving x squared plus 7x plus 10 equal to 0, from the previous sessions, you would have x plus 2 and x plus 5 equal to 0. That is using factorization. So that from here, I'll be having x equal to minus 2 or minus 5. I have obtained the roots of this equation. And if you are asked to find the sum of the roots, it means that sum of the roots is minus 2 plus minus 5. And that will give you minus 7. And the product of the roots is minus 2 times minus 5, and that will give you positive 10. I have handled the question. With this, I have answered the question. Find the sum and product of the roots. The sum is minus 7, the product is 10. It looks very easy, but some equations will not be this easy to solve. Some of the quadratic equations wouldn't just take 3 or 4 steps for you to produce the answers, or like this one. I want to give you a question. Moreover, very, very important, why we want to introduce this part is that not all quadratic equations have real roots. Not all quadratic equations have real roots. Some of them will end up having complex roots. So you can't easily obtain the roots for you to find the sum and product. Some of them, you can get the solution using factorization. So we introduce this equation, and it will help us understand better why we are in this part. When you are asked to solve 3y squared minus 9y plus 1 equal to 0, I want us to look at this equation. It would give us real roots, of course, but it won't be easy like this question. 3y squared minus 9y plus 1 would give us real numbers, but not whole numbers, please. But it won't be easy for us to solve it like we did in number 1. To solve that question, factorization would not help us, because 3 times plus 1 is plus 3, and there are no two whole numbers such that their product will be positive 3 and their sum will be negative 9. We can find two numbers such that when you multiply, you will have plus 3, and when you add, you have minus 9. So we leave factorization method and we use the quadratic formula. From here, my A is 3, my B is minus 9, my C is 1. This equation is in Y. Recall the quadratic formula: minus B plus or minus square root B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. To solve that, I'll be having Y equal to, put this here, you'll be having 9 plus or minus square root of 81. We try to be fast with this because we have introduced this in the previous video. A is 3 and C is 1. So that we have all over 2 brackets. A is 3. With this, we'll be having Y equal to 9 plus or minus square root of 81 minus 12, and that will give us 69 over 6. This is what we have. 69 is not a perfect square. So we have two solutions or two roots for Y. It implies that Y is 9 plus root 69 all over 6, or 9 minus root 69 all over 6. These are the roots of this quadratic equation. You notice they are not just simple numbers. They are not just 1, 2, minus 2, minus 5, 7, 1 over 2. We have sums here. These are real roots, please, but not simple roots. They are not as simple as we had in number 1. So we look for the sum and product. Don't forget the question. Find the sum and product of the roots of this equation. It means, what will I have when the roots are added? That is the sum. What will I have when the roots are multiplied? That is product. Having the roots, we can now get the sum of the roots, that is alpha plus beta. Let's add this and see what we have. If I add this, I'll be having 9 plus root 69 over 6 plus 9 minus root 69 over 6. It gives alpha plus beta, which is the sum of the roots, as 9 plus root 69. If we simplify this, plus 9 minus root 69. I am sure you will agree with me. I'll be having 18 over 6, which is 3. So sum of the roots is 3. We take product of the roots. For product of the roots, for product of the roots, product of roots. For product of the roots, that's the next thing we look at. All right.